Good evening. This is a late love and stuff happening for a brief time. We were without power, so if there is still a lag in the power, I apologize, but I'm grateful that we do have power again. So whether you are joining us across any or all the platforms, I'm just going to that things are going well across platforms because we had some technical difficulty. I'm Marcus Holmes, and I'm happy to be here across all platforms: Facebook Live, Twitch, LinkedIn, not LinkedIn tonight, Instagram, YouTube, and I'm missing one. Thank you for being here with us on all platforms. I'm just going to take a look to see what is happening across platforms because I'm sure um, what is occurring, but I will take a look to see. Make sure we are live like we are. Okay, sounds like we're live. And I'm gonna hurry up because we are certainly behind our normal time, but I want to just share it. I don't see it live on the Love and Stuff page. That's not a good sign. Okay, we will share it across to that page. We won't be able to get any analytics from that share, but we will do our best. Let's see if we can do it that way. I'm very sorry that that happened. I must have hit the wrong place for it to be live. All right, let's see if I can post it here. Post it there. Thank you for joining. If you're joining us across any of the platforms, I'm grateful that you are here. We are late because we had some. Let's see that post. We had some power challenges. We are just moments of getting our power back. And so thank you for joining us, whether you're watching us across various platforms. I'm going to drop the topic in there. All right, that looks good. And I'm going to just share it. Other places here. Doesn't let me do too many places. All right, I'll share it there. Okay. All right, thank you for joining us wherever you're joining from. I'm going to drop the topic here so that you will be able to track along with me. And I will not spend very long because we're very late getting started because of the power outage in our area. But we just received power back. Not quite in time to start the show at the time we would, but we are starting. So apologize for that in advance. It's because of that. All right. This is the topic. I'm going to read from the topic and get right into it. I hope I got it pinned. Let's see. Okay, let's hopefully pin it. All right. Hey, Marcus and Love and Stuff family. I'm a 29-year-old African American woman with my master's living in Atlanta, and I'm starting to feel like finding a good man who shares my values is impossible. I'm used to a certain lifestyle: brunches, spa days, regular travel, and I honestly expect my future husband to handle all major bills and provide that lifestyle. My last boyfriend was 34, smart, handsome, and financially secure. I really liked him, but he proposed something different. He would cover the big bills if I contributed regularly to an investment account that we both managed. He said it would build our we would build our wealth together. But honestly, the thought of contributing financially felt odd. I mean, isn't providing for me part of being my husband? Am I asking too much, or is this just how things are nowadays? Help me out. I was kind of tickled by that because 29, you really don't have a nowadays experience. But I understand what she was trying to say. And I I honor that and recognize it. So thank you for this inbox topic. And I want to hear from you because I'm going to share with you some tips that I shared with her or things to consider. I am not a licensed loveologist or a licensed relationship expert. I am a synthesizer of the information because I'm the love activist. I'm advocating for better love for you and me in every area of our lives that we're seeking love. Some people, like our inbox person, is seeking marriage. And so I often reach out to the married folks that I know, some that were married for 6 months and some 60 years, and everybody in between. And then I synthesize that information with that of relationship experts to try to provide something that's going to help our community up our love game. So I'm just reporting on love. And I believe in love, and not just this love, but I believe that the quintessential love has a prescription for you and I to experience the kind of love he designed for us to experience. So, with that said, I want to hear from you whether or not this conversation has, someone said, please put to bed this conversation of 50-50. No pun intended, put it to bed. But in relationships, depending on the individual, this 50-50 conversation is going to come up. And it should if you're considering a covenant relationship, really any relationship, but there should be some framework of give and take, of reciprocity, of whatever the reciprocal agreement that undergirds that framework is. And there should be conversation, communication, and a connection on it. All right. Which is what we're always saying in the Love and Stuff community. In relationship, you must communicate. You must communicate with the quintessential love, who is God. You must communicate with yourself. You got to talk about that. And you must communicate with others that you are in relationship with, hope to be in relationship with, and hope to maintain relationship with. All right. So, having said that, I'd love to hear from you. I know we've got some people who jumped in and out, and I don't have the folks. I'm missing one, and I'm so sorry. My folks over at I'm missing my folks over at yeah, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to support that tonight. Okay, so our TikTok folks, I'm sorry, they're not in the live. So I want to go directly into because we're at 9:01 already. I want to go directly into some of the items that I shared with her about what she should do. Basically, I came up with 6 tips for navigating financial expectations in relationships. Okay. Tip number 1 is to clarify your relational or relationship values. Okay. Which is important. The expert insight for this tip came from relationship expert Dr. Tiffany Davis Henry, who stresses understanding and aligning relationship expectations helps to avoid future conflicts. I'll share that again. Dr. Tiffany Davis Henry says and stresses understanding and aligning relationship expectations can avoid future conflicts. Okay. And here are the steps. If you want to clarify your relationship values, number one, you need to clearly define and write down your expectations about financial roles in the relationship and then discuss them, right? And when you're listening to the other person's and yours, reflect on the historical and cultural influences that shape your beliefs about financial roles. Now, even in the African American diaspora, there are a number of African American men who were reared by single mothers, single parents. And there is a nuance in that cultural influence of how a man views or may view his role as a financial partner. So you have to consider the historical, the historicity, if you will, of the family, right? What's the family's history that you're going to be connecting with against what your history is? And are there any cultural implications to that? If you were marrying someone of a different ethnicity, maybe of Latino or Hispanic, they may have more a community sense of people living in the home along with a couple, right? And so they may have a more community sense of sharing the financial responsibilities. And you have to reflect on that you might be coming together with someone who has a total different background as it relates to their values based on their ethnicity, based on their nationality, based on their race, based on their creed, based on cultural and other economic, socioeconomic influences that may be present. So you have to think about that. And then number three, engage in open conversation after you've done the reflection. And do it early on so that you can ensure that you can become aligned with your partner's views. This should be of primary importance if you want this relationship to go farther, because you might be connecting with someone who is on the opposite ends as it relates to financial roles in a relationship. So again, number one, clarify your relationship values. That's number one. All right, want to make sure you can see that. Let's see, I want to make sure. All right, is that okay? Just double checking to make sure we're good here. Drop in the comments if you're checking with me. I know I've had some power outages and I just want to make sure everything is clear. All right, so that's number one, tip number one. Okay, drop in the comments if you have any questions or you have something to add to that tip. You got some better tips. Sharing with this young lady who is 29, and she says she's got her master's degree. She's living in Atlanta. She's saying that she's not finding good men. I said to the people that I talked to, don't poo-poo on Atlanta. There are great people there. But her issue is that she's looking for a man to pay the major bills and afford her a lifestyle that she's become accustomed to without her contributing to it. And she has been 0 for 5, I think, in recent years, because most men want 50-50, or at least the men that she's meeting, which we'll talk a little bit about that as well. Two is this part right here. Seek partners who share your financial values. And the expert insight this comes from is matchmaking expert Paul Carrick-Brisson, who highlights the importance of compatibility in lifestyle expectations if you want relationships to last. So it's really important for compatibility in lifestyle if you have expectations for long-lasting relationships. Okay. And here are the 3 tips. Clearly communicate your lifestyle expectations up front, such as enjoying brunches, travel, spa, luxury experiences, as she said in the inbox. Number 2, which I think is really important, you got to go where you think the fish are, right? Attend social and professional events that attract successful and financially compatible individuals. So you're not going to the fish fry necessarily if you're looking for the man who is doing business deals at the opera or at the Institute of Arts or at a museum, right? You're going to politics and pancakes. You're going to places where movers and shakers are going to be, right? And number three, use dating platforms that are geared toward professionals or those specifying specific lifestyle compatibilities. So maybe you will choose a dating platform where people travel a lot, okay? So that you can find the kind of people who enjoy the same luxury experiences that you do. Seek partners who share your financial values. All right, that's number two. And I want to hear from you. What do you think about that? As one of the tips, I'm just going to double back to the to the topic to make sure that you can see it, because I don't see it pinned at least across one of the platforms. Make sure it is pinned. It was. I'm gonna show it on the screen for a second. Let's see if that works. It shows part of it, so we'll try that. Hey, Marcus and Love and Stuff family. I'm a 29-year-old African-American woman with my master's, living in Atlanta, and I'm starting to feel like finding a good man who shares my values is impossible. I'm used to a certain lifestyle, brunches, spa days, regular travel, and I honestly expect my future husband to handle all major bills and provide that lifestyle. My last boyfriend was 34, smart, handsome, and financially secure. I really liked him, but he proposed something different. He would cover the big bills if I contributed regularly to an investment account that we both managed. He said it would build our wealth together. But honestly, the thought of contributing financially felt odd. I mean, isn't providing for me part of being my husband? Am I asking too much? Or is this just how things are nowadays? Help me out. I still get tickled here in the nowadays because at 29, you haven't had a lot of nowadays. But I get your point. And I love it and I'm here for it. So I want to hear from you as I go to point number three. Drop in the comments whether or not you have some advice for her. I've synthesized some advice from talking to different relationship different couples rather, and gathering information from relationship experts. Tip number one, just in review, is clarify your relationships. Tip two is seek partners who share your financial values. And now tip three is embrace financial partnership. The expert insight comes from relationship therapist Esther Perel, whose work we love, and it underscores that partnership is the backbone for lasting relationships. Okay, so here are the three parts of the how-to steps in embracing financial partnership. Number one, create a joint budget that clearly defines roles and responsibilities. It could be major bills, minor bills. It could be value-based, however you decide to build your budget. Number two, maintain transparency by regularly reviewing bank statements and investment accounts together. And number three, you can use apps like Mint, Honeydew to share financial management so that you have a line of sight, both of you, on the financial decisions that are being made and need to be made. All right, so that's tip number three. I want to check in with you to see what you think of those tips as I move to tip number four at 9:11. Again, it's a brief Love and Stuff tonight. We're just getting power back on, and so I wanted to just go live for a bit. Tip four is educate yourself financially. And the expert insight comes from financial guru David Ramsey. He advocates for financial education as empowerment. So the tips to do there are to enroll in financial literacy courses, online, webinars, through your church, through your community, CDFI organizations within the community, or even online courses like Coursera or Udemy. Read financial books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or other books. Listen regularly to podcasts, and there are a ton of them out there, such as So Money by Farnoosh Torabi, who gives really great ongoing insights. All right. Just checking across platforms. All right, because I know we're doing it kind of a truncated one tonight, and I appreciate any input that you want to give to this 29-year-old who has been 0 for 5. Every boyfriend that she has had wants 50-50 in a relationship, and because her background has been her father did everything for her mother and her mother didn't have to work, that I think you have to build that based on your financial set of circumstances and your relationship. But you have to be able to reflect upon the values, particularly culturally, and culturally again, with as a nuance within the African American diaspora in particular. You have a wide financial experience along the continuum, so you've got to take that into account when you're meeting someone new. Tip number 5, recognize and appreciate different forms of contribution. I think this is my favorite one. And this expert insight comes from sociologist Dr. Pepper Schwartz. He emphasizes the importance of recognizing all forms of contribution to strengthen relational harmony. So, not just financial contribution, right? What else are you both bringing to the table to the relationship? Such as understand and appreciate the non-financial contributions of emotional support, of household management, of social connections. You know, reminded me, I talked to a couple in the inbox, and they have been married for 32 years. I think I got it right, 32 or 33. I've just forgotten the moment. And a part of their plan, they both had their bachelor's degrees when they got married, and they had a 15-year plan that in 15 years they were going to pay off their first home and be saving so that they can have investment properties, and that they both would work and go as far as they could up the ladder for those 15 years. Hopefully one day I'll be able to get them on Love and Stuff. And in year 16, they would reevaluate their investments, their assets, and determine their next steps. She had a dream of doing things more creative, more painting and things of that nature, and she wanted to do that full time. He wanted to continue to work, and they would have a trade-off where it would be 70-30. He would be the primary breadwinner, and she would contribute 30%, but she would help to build their business by these social connections and having dinners and literally building partnerships through having dinners and different events. And it turned out that her area of creativity became so successful, she was in the position to contribute at the 70%. And they decided to take a large portion of that to reinvest in other investments. And it got to the place that when they got close to the 20, I believe it was 26 year, if I'm remembering, he kind of retired her, and she kind of doesn't have to work. She kind of lives the lifestyle that he's dreamt about being able to give for her while he's working and getting close to his time of retirement, and they will, have their dream home and that kind of thing. It worked for them because they had an appreciation for the ebb and flow of, there will be times that her emotional support would have to be there when he worked 12-hour days, and she had to manage the household, and they have children. She had to manage that and make sure that what he was bringing in, the lion's share of it, was going to investment and going to handling things of the house. So she was the handling the household. And then at a point it transitioned to where she was doing more of the social connections and helping to build on the back end of the business. And so it depends on the contributions that you both are bringing to the relationship at various seasons. And so you can craft your life like that. They would tell you, I hope they will tell you one day, that there were ups and downs in that 15 years, that they thought they might not make it through that 15 years, but they stuck with it and they stayed consistent, and that helped them to achieve their goals. 2 in that is clearly communicate your expectations regarding the non-financial roles and what that does to the relationship, because emotional support is bigger than I think most people realize. When you have a partner who's out there grinding and they can't be there at every event, your emotional support of that is key. whichever spouse it is, husband or wife, whichever partner it is. That emotional support is almost tangible. It is valuable. And you cannot discount that when you're considering the contributions to a relationship. And number three, develop mutual respect by openly acknowledging and valuing these varied contributions regularly. That means celebrating them, rewarding them, appreciating them in the languages of love that your partner understands. And we can talk more about that. And point number 6 at 9:18, just checking in across platforms. All right, couple people there. Thank you so much for being there. Check in on Instagram. Thank you for joining us over there. It's not on tonight, but we appreciate those that are on Twitch and YouTube events. All right. And then number 6, I'll review very quickly. Number 1 tip is clarify your relationship values by clearly defining and writing down your expectations about financial roles in relationships. Reflect on the historical and cultural influences shaping your beliefs about financial roles, which I think is super key. And engage in open conversations early on to ensure that you're aligned with your partner's views. Okay. Tip 2 is seek partners who share your financial values and perspectives. Clearly communicating your lifestyle expectations up front, such as enjoying brunches, luxurious travel, and experiences, attending social and professional events that attract these successful partners are important to put on your calendar. And then using dating platforms that are geared toward professionals and those that specifically live the kind of lifestyle that's compatible for what you want. Tip 3 is embrace financial partnership by creating a joint budget that clearly defines roles and responsibilities. It could be by major and minor, it could be by value based, but you create a joint budget and maintain transparency. Number 2, by regularly reviewing bank statements and investment accounts together. And 3, using apps like Mint or Honeydew, Honeydue, for shared financial management. Tip number 4 is educate yourself financially by enrolling in financial literacy courses or webinars at the church, at CDFIs, in your community, wherever they're offering financial literacy. Read financial books and listen to financial podcasts such as So Money by Farnoosh Torabi, among others. Tip 5 is recognize and appreciate different forms of contribution. Not all contributions to the relationship are financial. There are non-financial contributions such as emotional support, household management, and social connections, right? Clearly communicate your expectations regarding these non-financial roles with potential partners. They can be blocked by seasons, blocked by goal, as I shared with of the couple who's been married 32 or 33 years. And then develop mutual respect by openly appreciating, acknowledging, and valuing these varied, maybe non-traditional contributions on a regular basis. And tip number 6, invest in relationship counseling. The expert insight here comes from psychologist Dr. Gary Chapman, who suggests counseling is as essential for couples seeking to align their financial, is very essential for couples who are seeking to align their financial and emotional expectations effectively. Get you a financial and relationship coach who can help you to schedule regular sessions to discuss and mediate financial expectations that might get derailed. That can help you utilize online resources like BetterHelp or Talkspace so that you can have convenient sessions and sometimes group sessions. And to practice your communication techniques that you learn in these sessions so it enhances both of your understanding and enhances your empathy around the differences in your value proposition relative to money and finances. That's tip number 6. I think it's important that, as I told the young lady, that you do and find what is best for your life and relationship. If you have been reared all of your life and petted and pampered and spoiled, I'm not mad at you. But you must know that there are other adults who have come from communities where everyone worked hard and contributed equally for what they have. Are you willing to pass up the potential love of your life because you're only relegated to the lifestyle that you've known? Or does love call you to step out, explore, determine if there is something else out there worth your investment? See, it's not a yes or no, 50-50 or not. It is, what is the cost benefit analysis for the love that you want to experience? Your mate could be a perfectly good person who came with a different set of lifestyle background, experiences, if you will. And I want to caution you about deciding not to include that person on the best bench, the love bench, because you may be passing up the love of your life. I'm Marcus Holmes. I wanted to do an abbreviated love and stuff. I'm just getting power back on. I believe in sojourning forward. I want to continue to bring you content and a community that is intentional about love. Now, we're seeking different love at different levels for different reasons and different times. And the quintessential love, God, who is love, knows what you desire. He knows who you are. He's loving you and wants you to love him back with everything that you have, and your neighbor as yourself. And he desires for you the best love outcomes that are an expression of the love that you've experienced from him. If that resonates with you, ask yourself this question: love wide open enough to receive love in a lifestyle differently than I may have imagined? If you're open to doing that, you have your love front and center. And I want you to consider, since your love is, how you might simply take your love to the next level. I'm Marcus Holmes, the love activist. I'm advocating for a better love for you and me. And if that resonates with you, go to the Love and Stuff community page, click follow, and click the notification that you will be reminded whenever we're going live. We'd love to have you inside Love and Stuff, which is a group here in the Love and Stuff community, all about self-care, to help you walk out your love journey, loving yourself first before trying to love somebody else. Be good to yourself and others, and we will see you soon.
Saved by love, count my blessings from above. Though in darkness distress and strain. Oh, sorrow, they will pass. For I know in this life there's gonna be